Half-Sword is a medieval fighting game combined with Getting Over It, and it's been out for about a week now. Half-Sword is a game about medieval fighting where you start at the bottom at the beggar, and you have to work your way up through the ranks until you become the Baron. And to climb up through these ranks, you have to compete a series of challenges, whether that be a brawl old-fashioned, a one-on-one duel, a two-on-two duel, a Bahurt. I don't know what the fuck a Bahurt is, and I still haven't looked it up, but I'm not gonna. Eventually, once your status bar is filled up, you'll be able to compete in a tournament during the morning. And these tournaments is how you get to the next rank, which provides you with new weapons, new armor, new clothes, but also new foes. This game is very near and dear to my heart. I love it. Every night I watch Queso or Charlie play it, because this game is super cool. It does have its own cool mechanics, such as armor and weapon crafting. I can give it an iron head if I wanted to. I could give a massive head. I could make a sword if I wanted to. If the weapons aren't feeling like the right fit for you, you can make your own and try it out. This game also has a trading system where you can trade items, much like Dark and Dark if any of you have played that. Dying works relatively much the same as it did in the demo. However, it is very, very forgiving now. If you die in the game, you just get reset back to the beginning of your rank. You don't go all the way back to commoner. So in that aspect, it is much more forgiving, but I will let you know in the start of this game, you will have a rough time for the first 3 ranks. As soon as you start to get armor and start to figure out the controls of how the NPCs work and how you work, you will definitely start to have a lot more fun in this game. I know I did. As soon as I got armor, I was having a blast playing this game. But that beginning times would get a little bit frustrated. Which leads me into some topics about the game itself. When you're in Peasant, you unlock the slums, and when you're in Commoner, you unlock the forest. And then after you unlock the alley, then the yard, and so on and so forth. However, what does come with these new locations is a very big margin of performance error and map issues, which a lot of players have noticed. Performance errors being the graphics of the levels are seemingly too advanced and delay your PC. I have a 3060, and I can't play this game without it sometimes completely lagging out the wazoo and crashing multiple times. And you don't want to go near the slums at all. There's a shit slide in the middle of the map, and if you walk over that little Shit's Creek, you're going off the edge. If you are going to purchase this game, don't play the slums, avoid the slums at all costs. Don't play it. Another issue I've noticed with the maps is with the forest map, there seems to be heavily glitched textures in the forest map where sometimes there'll be a surface, but the texture's above it. So you'll be sinking through the texture when you should be on the surface. I've almost killed myself a couple times this game. I've almost fallen on someone's invisible weapon that I couldn't see while trying to steal stuff. There are many glitches with that, but they've added some super fun things as well, like the beehive. There have been a lot of map issues, performance issues in this game, which have been seen by many people other than myself. There were many performance issues even after they issued an initial patch that seemed to have fixed all the first day ones. At least for me, it made it a little better. For some people, it made the performance issues worse. So that one was very slight dependence, but this is the first week it's been out, so let's cut into the slack, huh? Another thing that people have noticed that's very glitchy about this game is the arm physics. If you have a big weapon, your arms will go all over the place trying to do anything. I've cut myself in half with my own axe because my arm has glitched through myself before. It's got its flaws. It has its flaws. Another issue players have been having is the lock-on system in this game. The lock-on system is a bit finicky, but such is with all lock-on systems. I mean, look at Elden Ring, which is to be expected in a medieval combat system with a lock-on. It's not really the best track record for locking on. And the last occasional bug people have been noticing is just visual glitches, the game crashing, which the visual glitches don't impact you at all. They're merely just a visual glitch, but sometimes it's better for me to not take the chance of almost killing myself because of a laggy glitch, and I would rather just get out of there. Sometimes the character seems to get a bit funky with what he's grabbing, and when it comes off, sometimes it's an ethereal entity from beyond our dimension and doesn't exist anymore. So when that happens and you notice yourself tripping and falling, maybe you go next and cut your losses before you cut your head off. And last but not least, the one major issue people have had is crashing. However, this game does a very good job with crashing, in my opinion, because what it does after it crashes is once you reload the game, it places you in that fight that you crashed on. So if you were on the 2nd of 5th brawl fight, you'll be back in that 2nd of 5th brawl fight, fighting the same person. Now, unfortunately, if you are in a riot or a Bahurt or a doubles match, and you've already defeated one enemy, and you're fighting the other, it will restart that whole section, but it does save, so you don't have to redo all 5 missions again if you were on the last level of that area. Which I believe the crashing needs to be fixed, but it's a very good temporary fix for the problem. But those are most of the negative qualities about this game. I believe everything else this game does is absolutely wonderful. There's new mechanics in here that are different from the demo, including strength. The heavier load you have on your character, the longer it'll take and the heavier it'll be to swing your axe. but eventually over time you will become stronger. But what that does mean is that when you have other characters that you play on, it makes everything feel a little bit heavier with them too. So be careful when you're making yourself strong. Don't make yourself too big, but also don't make yourself too light that you're pretty much a paperweight. Some very advanced people, not me, I'm a Neanderthal, have been able to actually have stances in the game. Different moves, different attacks with different stances. And another interesting system they have is the mercenary system. You can actually hire help to go with you into most every fight you take. If you take a doubles, Bahurt, Riot, a champion, a tournament, which are very, very helpful to hire some people for your tournament. If you go also to that train guy, you can hire muscle, in which case you can hire big, beefy dudes, or you can hire people that are a couple of ranks less than you. It is really up to your preference. So we've gone over many cons and many pros of this game, but at the end of the day, is it worth buying? The question you're all here for. I believe it is. Much like the demo, which came out in roughly a similar state, people are having performance issues, physics issues, but when you get a crossover between Dark and Darker, and getting over it with Bennett Foddy, naturally you're going to be pissed off about some of the physics in the game. That's a natural part of it. And I think overlooking that and getting used to the mechanics is a very good part of what makes this game a joy to play. When you play this game at the beginning, the first couple ranks are going to be rough. If you learn which maps to avoid and which places to avoid, I believe this game is an absolute joy to play. I have been having so much fun playing this game and getting in there and just cleaving lads in half. Are there bugs and problems with the level? Of course there are. It's early access. It's not completely out yet. So let's cut him some slack, give him some time, voice your concerns, let him fix it. I believe if you buy it at this point, it is definitely an investment that you are putting money into and hoping to get a better end product. But I believe it is until February 13th that this game is on sale for. So try out the demo. It's free, about 2 gigs. If you don't like the combat system, this game's not going to be for you because that's what the game is. It's that combat system. But if you are a fan of that sort of thing and you would love nothing more than to get into it, lads, with that combat system and mess up a few lads, this game, I believe, is well worth the money and it is worth the investment of $20. But overall, those are the general consensus on the first week that Half-Sword Early Access has been out. So if you were interested in this game, highly recommend checking out the demo and checking out the funny video I did of the very first time we played this game. But that is going to do it from me. And please leave in the comments below if you will be purchasing this game, because I would just love to know more people are fans of this game, much like me. That is going to do it for me, so consider liking and subscribing because that helps me know that you want more content like this. And without further ado, I will see you guys in the next video. Jana.